Oh, what a jam! What a jam! Definitely giving off the right vibes and the right feels for this beautiful hump day. And can I say that the mood is a weekend one in studio today? Of course, I did say that on our Facebook page we are having brunch with a twist this morning, and that's because the conversation will be downed with gin today. And man, if you didn't know, now you know. It is brunch with Violet, and I'm going to be in conversation with Duncan, the flamboyant, and giving all the right kinds of energies today, talking all things LuvLuv Gin. Listen, I cannot tell you how excited I am, particularly to get into this one. His energy is infectious, guys.
Hello.
Exactly.
There we go.
He's already taken over the show. Do you
Yeah,
understand?
but they say touches move, so already I'm moved by you. So
Guys, I'm going to be tempted to mute his mic for control, just to make sure that my job is not taken away from me. But anyway, lovely having you in studio.
Thank
If
you
you
very
could
much.
just kindly greet the listeners, introduce
Yes.
yourself, and let's get into it.
To Metsi Maholo out there, yay. My name is Duncan Bofelo Motaung Singanga Daideng with a slice of greatness. So I would like to greet you in the holy name of our Father. You know whom I'm talking about. So my name is Duncan. Like I said, I am the brand ambassador of LuvLuv Gin. Yo, if you wanna win, put gin in. So
Oh,
here I am.
wow.
We are going forward.
Oh, wow. Yes, man. So, like I said, the conversations will be down with Jen. And,
Yes.
of course, hop onto the page, Mitzimaholo FM, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I got to taste this beautiful black excellence, proudly
Yes,
local brand. And, of
yes.
course, also just on that note,
Yes,
I don't know if you saw this, but last week our government had an expo where they were talking the significance and importance and the role of localization.
Yes. I was on that. Yeah, I saw everything about that, and that inspired me one time. Because let me be honest with you, you mentioned black excellence. In order for us to reach black excellence, we need support by locals.
True that.
You know,
true
I
that.
cannot just say I am black and I want to succeed without a person like you pushing me forward. You understand what I'm trying to say? Because at the end of the day, we don't want to push. You know, we once was, or we want to reach where. No. We want to push. It's a verb. It's a doing word. We want to do. I'm tired of people like of our color or caliber sitting on their hands and say, what is the government doing for us?
True,
We have
true.
to initiate.
True,
You know,
true.
yes. It took a while for us. You know, leaving your 9 to 5. Investing into a business.
True.
Yes, we do take calculated risks, but at the end of the day, we must also understand the capabilities that we can,
Execute.
Because yes, hope and a dream can be there, but let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, let us work within our capability.
True that. And of course, him just putting a stamp on what we discussed on how important it is to localize. And of course, you can
Yes.
tell the brand definitely stands behind the words of our Deputy President Paul
Yes.
Mashatile when he said, let us localize. Localization is the way that's going to get out of unemployment, creating jobs and stimulating our country back to where it could be. Now let's talk about this particular brand, LuvLuv Gin. How did it come about and what's in it?
All right. I'm so happy to tell you this because this is my favorite part where people ask me what's in it or how did it come about, right?
Yes.
My name, like I said, Duncan, with my partner, right? The inception was it's a year and 5 months in the making. So what happened was we saw there was a gap in the market because what we just had a conversation about earlier on is a lot of people measure other people's wealth by what they eat or drink.
True.
Or you understand what I'm trying to say. So we wanted a demographic that was universal, right? Alcoholic beverage, yes, but we did not want to be exclusive to the point where it's not accessible to the majority, if you understand what I'm trying to say. So this is what I'm saying. Inside this gin is one of 3 gins on the space, we have three kinds of gins. We have dry gin, there's a botanical gin, and there's a citrus gin.
Right,
You understand?
all right.
Citrus, more citrusy, orangey, grapefruity. So our gin is particularly merging the two because we are merging the earthiness, the taste, the herbs, and with the dry. But then we do not want to overwhelm because ladies get overwhelmed. Ladies get overwhelmed quite easy. Their palate gets overwhelmed. So we did not want to discard ladies because ladies love their cocktails.
True.
Gentlemen like their straight gin sometimes with ice or crushed ice. So
Right.
what's in it? There's a element called Quebec pepper. It's this type of bark of a tree that infuses pepper. And then what pepper does, it does not overwhelm that heat of the gin. And then it's got crushed rose petals. You know what they do is they infuse that earthiness and that color that you see behind it. So yes, ask me more questions. I'll tell you no lies.
Oh my word, the confidence is sky high, right? It's sky high.
Yes,
And of
lady.
course, if you just tuned in, it is Brunch with Violet. I mean, conversation and talking black excellence, all things that have to do with LuvLuv Gin.
Yes.
And I have to say, I've had a taste of it and my palate is impressed.
Yes.
Definitely impressed.
Yes.
Now, you say that I love the fact that it caters for both genders and not excluding
Yes,
anybody.
yeah, it's not gender specific.
Yes. Now, how important for you is it that this brand is still true to South Africa and it's still bringing it home, keeping it home? How important is it to keep it as a proudly South African brand?
That's a pivotal question that you're asking me right there. The mere fact that it's owned by a person who does not and will not give up at any phases or space, because what we do right here, how important it is, because we try to be relevant. We do not want to be stale in your mind. We want you to be captured by the packaging, by the story behind it, because we do not come from a success story. We're trying to make our own success stories. So in that, you will pursue greatness or achieve more if you are in partnership or if you are motivated by the story behind LuvLuv Gin. Because what I do and what the rest of the team does is we motivate one another in achieving greatness because we absorb greatness, I guess.
Right.
Yes.
Now let's talk about the name LuvLuv. LuvLuv. Is it full of love and how did it come about?
Yeah, no, okay. I don't know how to answer that one, but I am gonna because you just put me in a corner. My partner again comes to the fore. You tend to call your significant other honey,
Yes,
babe,
yes.
baba, muratu, mukhatsa, whatnot, So what I saw was pivotal. That was very much the ingredient in my partner's relationship with his wife was their reason and how they called one another LuvLuv. And you
Wow.
could see that.
Mwah.
So it's personal to us.
All
You understand?
right.
We didn't just want to suck it out of our thumb and call it some other name. I mean, South African gin. All gins are written London or British, whatnot. This is
Proudly
exclusively,
South African.
Even the name, you understand? We do not want to conform ourselves to exuberant names and call it something that not even a young business-minded person can pronounce.
All right.
That's why we are demographically universal.
Right, now let's talk about the podcast. Yes, that he is, of course, in charge of. He's doing
Yeah.
a great job, I have
Yes,
to say. They couldn't have
thank you.
chosen a better person for the brand ambassador role.
Yes.
Vocally, like he's killing it.
Oh, no, thank you very
Energy-wise,
much.
he's killing it.
Yes.
And also, I think you and the gin complement each other
yeah.
so well. Now, let's talk about the podcast that you
yes.
hold. Tell us about that. Did the podcast inspire the gin or the gin inspired the podcast?
The gin actually inspired the podcast. Let me tell you how. Because we needed a platform as LuvLuv Gin to be exposed, but we didn't have any kind of exposure except for hard work and marketing. And then we realized that there are other black-owned businesses, young people, who needed exposure around our neighborhood and didn't have that kind of platform
To do so.
So we
We created
that platform. So if you can see the past couple of, interviews, it's local-based businesses, your chefs, your fashionistas, your
Influencers,
pageant queen,
etc.
Yes. So what we do is we're trying to not only put LuvLuv Gin on the map, but then put black business in the Val on the map. Because when you go to Johannesburg, when you go to Pretoria, a lot of people, when they ask them about Sasso or Val, they think negative,
that farm
they
mentality.
do not understand that we have a Violet. They do not understand we have a Duncan.
Hello.
They do not understand that there are greater things to be seen or uncovered here. So LuvLuv Gin podcast is really the stepping stone for other black business owners to get themselves exposed.
True.
Hence, at the end of the day, there's no bad publicity, but then it's called free marketing. We market ourselves, Every day we want to enrich black empowerment.
Right. Unfortunately, we are coming to that time where I need to be queuing in the news. Now, let's talk about the future of LuvLuv Gin and where do you see it particularly? Can we say in a few years' time we'll be seeing it on the market with other
Yes.
brands? Yes.
Oh, thank you for that question again, Ms. Violet. Here's the thing. LuvLuv Gin is not only going to take over the shelves.
Okay.
You understand what I'm trying to say?
It's taking over.
Yeah. Because what we are going to be doing right now is we're going to be branching, after the success of the gin, we're going to be branching into chocolates. We're going to be branching into colognes. We're going to be branching into...
Come on now.
Hello.
Hello. Stop sleeping on the brand.
Yeah, so because our dream is only as limited as our thoughts can be. If you understand what I'm trying to say.
Wow.
So this is what I'm trying to say. Limitless ideas. So we are taking over.
When am I coming to the podcast again?
All right. You were really invited. But then I must make sure that when you come, I prepare hard questions for you. Because when
Wow.
it seems like, wow, you've got a lot to say.
I could never outdo you, I have to say.
Thank you very much. We compliment one another on this show. Maybe we can co-host one day.
Who knows, man? Like you said, limitless,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Well, that is where we ended today on this